all, and welcome to Monday Night's Treasure Vortex with Gypsy from YouTube's Zero Discrimination, as well as GypsyDigs.com, and myself, Amanda Degaz. We have special guests tonight, Maine Dert Sweepahs. We have Becca and Ben. I was pretty excited about that, and yeah, so let's get started with the show. Hey, Gypsy, how are you tonight?
I am doing great. Other than the craziness that went on earlier today, our little scare.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to ask you how you're doing because I already know. But I'm just glad you're here. I'm glad you got out of the hospital today. So yeah, most of you probably already know or already heard. I saw Amanda's post.
Yeah. I did not have to get cut into.
She did not have to get cut into. So she gave me a little scare today. She's like, oh, well, first it was, I'm going to the hospital. I mean, to the doctor, is what I meant to say. And I was like, oh, no, okay, what's going on, and yada, yada. And then the next thing I know is she calls me and says, oh, no, you're sending me to the emergency room. And I was like, oh, no, what's going on? What's going on? And all this pain in her abdomen and stuff. And I'm like, oh, my gosh, that sounds like appendicitis. And that's pretty much what they suspected. But thank goodness it's not appendicitis.
No.
And I know you're in pain.
Yes. But better than appendicitis.
Yeah, way better than that. So, thankfully, I'm just thankful you didn't have to get cut on today. I was so worried.
Thank you.
Oh,
me
my
too.
gosh.
Thank you. Me too. So, have you gotten out digging it all? I noticed, actually, I'm going to sidestep. I noticed you've been painting.
I have been painting.
Yeah.
Trying to get back into my art, a lot of changes this year. And, just trying to get back into a routine. It's been so dang hot outside. It's just hard to get out and get motivated to go metal detecting, even though that's what I want to be doing most of the time, as, all of us, most of us do. But the weather is just so dang hot. There are a lot of lakes in the area that I can go detect, but they're all at least 30 to 45 minutes or more of a drive, really more. But it's, number one, it's like I don't really want to go drive there by myself. Number two, it's like, I don't know, it's just haven't been that motivated to drive that far. So I haven't gotten out much at all. So hopefully this weekend, got invited to maybe go detecting at a lake. So I may take my friends up on that and go Saturday. So really looking forward to that. But other than that, I've been painting, so y'all be sure and hop on Facebook. I'm going to be posting paintings every week. I'm going to be selling those. Just still working on, if y'all missed, working on just ways to earn a little extra income on the side right now to get my production company going, as well as, keep everything else going, like my YouTube channel, etc., everything. I did upload a video today. I know you haven't been able to watch, Amanda, but I did upload a video today. It's not very long. I think it's like 14 minutes long. It was from 3 different hunts with my friend Michelle, my new friend Michelle, and we did some water hunting, and then part of the time we went was the trip that we took back to close to where I used to live, and detected some in the Guadalupe River. And one of those days, Zolo got to meet up with us. So y'all be sure and go check out my new video if you haven't already. And zero discrimination. So that's about it for me. And I know you'd gotten out a few times, though, right? Before all of this?
I haven't had good luck. We'll just, I feel like leaving it at that. Ended up in a creek last week and came across the biggest snake I've ever seen. And of course, I didn't have service on my phone. Couldn't Google, ID it. Couldn't get service. I kept telling it to go a different direction. It started coming at me, and I was like, that's it. Went to another site and some guy was screaming at a woman, screaming, and it was just bushes
What?
between me and them. And that I was like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to intervene here if he starts getting physical. And so that wasn't good. And then this weekend, I, in pain, got down to my cousin's to help try to find a gold bracelet, and we failed. There was no gold bracelet found. And then, yes, hospital all day today. So I said good luck. I think I need to. I'm knocking on wood.
Yeah, you sent me a picture of that big snake. I was like, whoa, what kind of snake is that? It almost looked like a rat snake to me, but anyway.
Yep. Didn't know, but I know somebody who has been having good luck and has been getting out. So how about we bring them on in?
Yeah, let's bring our special guest in. Tonight, I'm going to let you say I love the name of their group, but I'm going to let you say that. But I just want to say, welcome, Ben and Becca. It's so great to have you all the way from way up north where Amanda lives in Maine. So you go ahead and say their name because I love the way you say it. I don't have that accent.
Please give a warm welcome to my neighbors, the Maine Dert Sweepahs.
Hello.
Thank you for having us on. Yeah.
Yeah, y'all. I want to hear y'all say it too. Say, I love
Ben does it best.
Yeah. Well, I spelled it for those of you that are down south, so you can pronounce it properly. So it's Maine Dert Sweepahs.
There you go, Maine Dert Sweepahs. See, I can't even do it. Gotta get that accent in there. Yeah, I love it.
We were joking around one time, heading out to dig one time, and I got stuck in my accent, my main accent, and I got stuck there for like 5 minutes. I'm like, oh, help me, Becca, I can't get back out.
Well, that's what I love when I go up there and detect in Maine with, treasure hunt and meadlark and all that fun stuff with Amanda. And I just like the way she says certain words. And sometimes it's really thick, and then other times, I can't tell. But I love it when she says stickers, like we're going to give away some stickers tonight, so I love it. So go ahead, Amanda. I know you probably want to ask the first few questions here.
Well, I think everyone from listening can tell where you're from, but just in case they didn't guess or didn't grasp where you're from, can you give a little backstory, say, where you're from and how you got into metal detecting?
I'm going to let Ben handle that one. We talked about it this morning.
Okay. Yeah, so...
morning.
We are from York County, Maine. So that's the southern part of Maine. We actually are right on the New Hampshire border. So we're down not quite as far south as you can get, but almost. And I got started metal detecting back around 2006, 2007. I had bought my first detector. It's something I always wanted to do. We had one, my brother and I had one as a kid. It was a Radio Shack special. If it wasn't for just being run on 9-volt batteries, we probably would have electrocuted ourselves. We kept messing with it so much. But so we were kind of interested way back then. But I bought a White's Prism 5. Was my first machine, and we played with it for a little while. And then Becca came on shortly after that, and we had gotten her a White's Coin Master. I don't know if she wants to add anything or not.
Oh, yeah. So the reason I got interested is because we were out in the field, and he's digging away to, like, China. But we were all like, what is it? Now, granted, back then, we didn't have pinpointers, so that makes it more difficult. And he pulls out, he comes across this shiny thing, and it was exciting, and everybody's grouped around the hole, and it ended up being, I think it was a hubcap. But the fun
it was pretty
in
exciting, though, for a little while. Yeah.
It's that excitement of not knowing what it is, and oh my gosh, I'm about to dig up a treasure chest.
Yeah, a foot and a half deep, and you hit metal, and you're like, oh, it sounds hollow, and you're like, what is this? You know, yeah. It was a 50s hubcap.
But that hooked me.
That hooked you, huh?
Yeah.
That's awesome. What a story. I love it already. So both of you started out with the white, and I've used both of those machines. In fact, I remember at Coinmaster I found several rings with silver rings, and that Prism is a really good machine. So now let's step forward. What kind of detectors are y'all using now?
I have graduated. I went through a few of them. I did the Garrett AT Pro, loved that machine. Then I moved to the AT Max, and then I was having trouble with my shoulder, and I realized Ben's machine was lighter. So and we're kind of a little bit, tiny bit, sort of competitive. So I wanted to have the same machine as him, so I moved into the Equinox 800. And that one was better for me. So, and now I'm more competitive.
Sorry, Gypsy, I brought her over to the dark side. But yeah, it was kind of funny. She thinks that the machine is what finds the finds, the coins. But now she's starting to realize the coins speak to me. It's like I think there's one over here, and I go over and I dig it. So.
See, you're really what's the word I'm looking for? You're zoning in and into every. I can't even think of the word. What's the word I'm looking for? But yeah,
I mess with her just driving to work. I'll mess with her because we're like, that looks like a good field, and I'll look out like I'm really pondering, and I'm like, yeah, there's coins out there,
Oh, brother.
Yeah, and I have a friend, actually we've had him on, lives up the road, Keith Wills, and he's been detecting so long, and he'll look at a yard and he'll go, oh my gosh, I smell silver. We gotta go.
Yeah.
They would get along.
We were actually walking back to the truck one evening, and we were beat, and this new permission we have, and we were almost back to the truck, and where we park is a partially overgrown field, but a good chunk of it has some pretty good sized trees in it. Probably been growing since the late 1800s, early 1900s, probably 100 years worth of growth in there. And it was so funny, like, why? Yeah, someday I want to get in there, but not that night. And all of a sudden I'm walking and I stop and I look. I said, we've never really done in here. And she's like, nope, maybe another time. I'm like, I got to go in there and check something. And I walked in about 30 feet and I dug 2 Indian head pennies within 9 inches away from each other, both from the 1800s. And I'm like, I'm all set now. Go home.
Oh, boy. Well, we know you're into metal detecting now. Is there any other type of treasure hunting that you're into, like stump digging or bottle hunting, mudlarking, anything like that? Magnet fishing?
Yeah, so I'll start with that one. I like to, if there's a dump where we're hunting, to sift through the bottles. I'm only just starting to get to know what to look for. But Amanda took us mudlarking, and that was a blast. So I would like to do that more. I'd like to try and figure out, how where to go and what you're looking for, that kind of stuff. Because I'll never forget, she pulled out it was a bale seal. She's like, look, it's a bale seal. And I was like, that is a rock. And she's like, nope, it's a bale seal. I'm like, pretty sure it's a rock. I don't think I'm going to do very well on my own, but I got some learning. But it was fun.
And I'll definitely get you out again doing it. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Now I'm sure once you go, it becomes like a competition again. Because once you kind of train your brain, to look for certain things and shapes and stuff, it gets easier and easier, and you can just see that stuff. That I Spy thing. Just like when you're doing those little I Spy games or puzzle, you know what I'm talking about, puzzle type things. It was the same thing when I used to live on the beach, in Galveston, and I would stop. People would be like, how do you find these shark's teeth? And I would just stop in those little bitty, pockets of shells and just kind of comb through them, and I'd pull out several little shark's teeth. And
wow.
It's the same way with the mudlarking. It can become just as addicting, can't it?
I knew I grew up on, basically we're still on the same property. We ended up with 2 acres from my parents' property where I grew up. So we live right next door. And their house is an old colonial. Our best guess built between 1805 and 1810. So we have a fun little play area right next door, right here, basically. And that had an old dump. So I grew up with that anyway. So I've always done a little bit of treasure hunting, I would say anyway. We'd go down and I'd be digging through that, seeing what we could find. I found a few things that were intact, whether it was a bottle, salt and pepper shakers that were, different shapes or whatever, just different odd things. But, rock collecting, I've always been interested in that kind of thing. One story I'll tell you is when I was little, I remember, I think I was trying to dig a tunnel, but we always were looking for, treasure. And I started digging in our sand pile that we had in the back of the house. Went and got a shovel. Of course, parents didn't know what we were doing. Started digging. I got down about 3 feet, and I hit iron. Clink, clink. And I thought it was pretty cool, so I kept digging around it. Long story short, by the time my father caught up with us, I had dug a hole around the septic tank pipe and was told to fill that back in as soon as I could. So, yeah.
But
good idea.
Definitely that treasure hunting is in your blood from a very young age. And that's what's funny about when you really get to thinking about it. I think everybody has some. It may not be digging in the dirt and digging up a septic tank, but I think. Sorry. Sometimes it comes from, just, when you walk into a store and you look for that clearance rack and you're looking for the best bargain, that's a treasure, So I think we all, whether we're all treasure hunters of some sort, but, we're the real treasure hunters, right?
Always looking at the ground, trying to find the coins that people dropped or...
Exactly. Now, I know Amanda's got a whole list of questions for y'all. So.
Well, I am going to, actually, it might end up being next, but I'm going to say, so Ben, I saw you found a bucket lister this weekend. Can you tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah, it was actually last evening, and it's on this one permission that we have locally. It is around 139 acres. On this property, it's an old farm, field, overgrown woodlands that used to be field, sitting next to a small river that had a mill next to it on the other side, and there's an old cellar hole on the property as well. So got a little bit of everything that we all wish we could have on one property, and that's why we're just going back to this one, right now. And it was hot yesterday, just like it is everywhere. So we were kind of getting done. We'd been there a couple hours. And it's kind of funny because, like I say, there's one, out in this big hayfield, there's one tree. And on this tree, it looks like it's been hit by lightning 50 times, and it's just kind of living its last life. But there's one big old branch that just kind of points to the back of the field at an angle. And I just happened to look up. I'm like, and I'm not really getting any signals, and nothing really good. And the field's that way. It's been detected. The gentleman, when I asked permission, he said, this thing's been pounded. One guy came in from California and hit it for like 3 years. And I was like, okay. And I says, but if you're okay with it, and I knew him, I says, I wouldn't mind trying. His machines have changed. And he says, have at it, but I don't know what you'll find. And so we're kind of swinging through, and I got right in line with that one branch pointing to the back corner of the field. And I'm like, you know what? That branch is pointing at something. It's telling me there's something here. So I'm just going to make a beeline straight back towards the tree. And it was in that path. I ended up stumbling across an 1831 Liberty Cap dime last night, yesterday afternoon.
Oh my gosh!
And it's on our Facebook page, Maine Dert Sweepahs. It is almost uncirculated condition, except for being in the ground. I mean, they must have dropped it in 1831. You can see the ridges on the eagle's feet. You can see all the little detail. You can see the actual individual claws. I've looked it over pretty intently, and I can't even find a place where it's actually been worn. It's in such beautiful shape. I was just blessed to be able to find that. Yep.
Holy cow. That is amazing. Well, congratulations. I'll be sure to check that out. Amanda just put that link to y'all's group in chat, so y'all be sure and go check that out on Facebook. And I'm sure there's a video coming, or is it already aired?
They'll be coming at some point. Yeah, it'll be a little while, but we do videos awesome. every other week. So I don't have. Yep, we don't have enough out there right now to do every week. We do one every other week. So probably be at this point somewhere close to the end of September before that will come out.
Well, look forward to watching that. Can't wait. So, how about you, Becca? Any bucket listers lately? Any favorite finds?
I gotta say, recently, I had wanted to find a thimble. And I just wanted a thimble. Everybody's finding thimbles. And I ended up finding not only a thimble, but it was a silver thimble. And it was the one, what is it called? A tailor's thimble with the hole in the top.
Mm-hmm. Oh, wow.
Yeah, that was kind of cool. It was unique. It was just plain, but I don't know, made my day because I've been looking for a thimble for a few years. And that was my first one. So it was pretty cool. I would have to say that was my favorite recently.
I would say that's pretty cool. I'm still waiting for my silver thimble. I've had so many thimbles, but no silver. So anyway, I guess I got to go back to Maine.
Yes.
Yeah, you do.
I won't argue.
Right.
You do. Now, do you have like a wish list or bucket list or a white whale that you're still hoping to find, like something that might be on the top of the list besides you said you just found your silver thimble? Do you have something else that you're hoping to find before the end of the summer?
Well, I am on the hunt for a real. So, yes. Ben stole it, but I still need to find it.
The last video we just posted, just in case anybody's looking. Yep.
That's right. I was not happy. No, I was happy. But that I'd love to find Spanish. So I love foreign coins. I just think they're the coolest. I just recently found a French colony's 5-cent piece. And I like the American coins, don't get me wrong. Those are all great. But I don't know, there's something about a foreign coin. It's just so unusual to find one around here. So I am looking for Spanish silver for sure.
Oh, that's wow. Awesome. Well, yeah, foreign coins are so fun to find. But, yeah, Spanish silver, whew, yeah.
The one that half real I just found, it was kind of funny because we didn't know what we had. It was pretty worn. And it really wasn't until I got it home and put it underneath a microscope with the light shining down on it. And I got busy on something else, so I actually caught it at an angle. And I went, oh, my goodness, because I thought it was a seated Liberty dime that was pretty worn. And I caught the back of the real, the half real. And I said, holy smokes, Becca, come here, And so we just started taking pictures of it. And, you could see details on it at that point, better than we could see outside when we first dug it. And but my bucket list or my white whale is still, I've found the shape to a shoe buckle, but I would love to still find a fully intact, or even a frame I'd be happy with, but a fully intact shoe buckle, colonial shoe buckle.
Yeah.
Understandable.
It's funny
I'm right there with you, Ben. Living way out here in Texas.
We do a lot of cellar holes, and it just surprises me that there's not found one yet. I'm not saying they're not there, but we just haven't found it yet.
Every intact colonial shoe buckle frame I have found has been on a property that I have a deal that I return everything. So,
oh no.
Yeah, yep. So I have found them, but I have none in my collection.
Oh man.
It's all right. The property owners were happy, so that's cool.
It will come to you. It will come
eventually.
to you.
I got to save it before it disintegrated in the ground. So that's I guess.
That's the important thing.
There's
so important.
You can always tell when Ben's found a bucket lister though, because he says, "Holy smokes." Holy smokes. And then I'm like, oh my goodness, what did you find? Holy smoke. So it's my favorite phrase in the universe. Hear that coming across.
And so what's...
Here in Texas, we say, holy cow.
Yeah.
And, well, it's funny because I go, oh, my Lanta. So...
Oh.
I think, yeah. So, Becca, what's yours when you find your bucket list, or what did you exclaim?
Well, my usually is, what is this? Oh! Am I right, Ben?
Yeah, I'm thinking of one. I'm thinking of one that you found. I would call definitely a bucket lister. That you went, not sure what that is, and threw it in her pouch, let it rattle around with everything else, knocking the dirt off from it. Brought it home. Hey, she goes, I think I found a buffalo nickel. Do you mind cleaning it up for me? I'm cleaning stuff up anyway. Yeah, no problem. Pass it over. I started brushing it under the water a little bit, and I started looking at it, and all of a sudden these words written in Latin on the outside edge started materializing. I'm like, and I spun it around the other way. I'm like, yeah, I don't see a buffalo anymore. I said, you don't have a U.S. coin. And she goes, this is a coin. I says, but it's not U.S. She goes, well, what is it? Ended up being her 1723 King George I farthing.
Holy cow!
Yeah.
So
I always tease her, just toss it in your pouch. Don't worry about it.
Yep.
I love those nice surprises though when you get home, but it is fun when you know. I'm so curious. When I dig something I don't know, I'll sit there and I try to clean too much in the field, and I know I shouldn't. But you know.
Yes. The research is probably as much fun as digging.
It really can be when you start and you're not sure what you found and you really start researching it. It can be a whole new journey, that's you just never know where it'll lead. So it can be just as fun.
Yep, definitely.
So tell us if y'all have so we talked about some of your white whales and your bucket listers that you've found lately. What's the craziest or creepiest find y'all ever found? Anything like that?
I think, Ben, you should answer that one.
Yeah, I found one. It was kind of felt weird and creepy, I guess. Used to be a field, but it's all overgrown now. It's his neighbor's property not too far away, and we had permission as well to be on the neighbor after that. So Becca drove the car down, and I said, well, I'll walk down. I went down later, and I said, I'll just walk down through the woods, through our woods, through the neighbor's woods, and then over to the other property where she's at. And I'm swinging as I'm going. You just never know, and I ended up digging up probably, I don't know, 6 to 10 inches down. Ended up being like a cat or a dog, small dog collar, fully intact, attached and still clasped. So it kind of made you feel like, don't know if they just lost it, years ago, which could have happened. They could have slipped their head out of it, but it made me wonder, did I just stumble across a grave or something, and I was like, I'm out of here.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I'm always worried when I'm detecting somebody's yard, that I'm going to dig up, like, their pet. So sometimes I'll ask them, okay, are any pets buried out here that I need to know about?
Yeah, right.
So,
yeah, that's definitely yards. Sure. Yards. Okay, so do you know where your different lines are that come into the house? Do you have a pet cemetery? Yes. Yep. It's better. Yeah, nobody wants to dig up the bones of an animal or anything else for that matter. I'm like, I think I said it this week. I'm like, I have yet to dig up somebody's pet animal or a human, and I'd like it to remain that way, please.
Me too. Yes, me too. I've heard way too many stories of, no, don't want to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, scares me.
No.
And well, we've got a lot. Actually, I think down in Texas you all do too, but in Maine we have, people put the cemeteries are on their property, and there are, they use just stones for some of them, not like carved stones and whatnot. So that's another thing, is like a lot of these, I've seen some areas that I'm like, that's definitely like that, those have to be graves. Like there's no way it's not. Like stay away from that.
Right. Yeah. That must be scary where y'all live, because although I will say I've detected on some properties in Texas where there were some, like one particular property where our club got invited out there, and we actually helped them find graves because they had a few graves on the property, but we weren't digging it up or anything. We were just helping them to see if there were any more graves there, and we did find more. But that to me would be, oh gosh, if I sitting there, because like you said, I mean, Amanda, in her, where she lives, right there on her property, there is a decent sized little family, cemetery. So that would be a big fear for me, is going to a property and then you just start seeing a few stones, maybe not headstones, but you see a few stones, and sometimes that's all they marked it with. So very scary.
Like, no thanks. With my luck, that that bad luck would come back and it would haunt me forever. So I'm good.
You're way clear.
Yeah. Yep. Let's see.
Let's see. I know we've got several questions. Go ahead, Amanda.
Well, nope. I'm making sure I'm putting their Facebook group in chat again. If y'all want to go over and show them some love. And then, do you want to talk about their YouTube a little bit? And I will put that in chat as well. So you said
you want to tell us a little more about that? Go ahead.
Yeah, so you said that every 2 weeks or so you put out a video, and you do the live premieres with those too, right?
Yes. So we are hooked in with our group, Maine Saturday Digs. Includes Madison, Maine, DF Digger, AEW, Maine Relic Hunters, and ourselves. I think I hit everybody. So we all get together, and there's a couple of us that jump in and out every other week, and I think 3 of them do every week right now during the digging time of the year. And it's worked out pretty well. We appreciate, I see Madison's in the chat, and we really appreciate the bonding that we've all done, and I think it makes a good Saturday evening. I know we look forward to it. Yeah, it's a good time, especially in the winter. This past winter, it flew by just because we had something to look forward to. Is getting together with people that like-minded people and just kind of getting in the chats and having a lot of fun with it. So it's been good.
Mm-hmm.
It's awesome.
Ben does all the editing on those. I help take raw footage, but he does all the editing, all of the effects, all of that. He's really good at all that. He's the brains behind all of that. I just point the camera and shoot, and hopefully find something to point at.
Well, that is awesome.
They've been great. I know I've been catching up on a lot of the, it's funny, I'm actually going the opposite way that I should. I should start at the beginning and go back, but it's a lot more fun to see in my mind. So I've been going back and working my way back. So I saw that you all made it to the Coventry hunt in Rhode Island.
Yeah.
Yes, that was fun.
I was just going to bring that one up because Gypsy may not have even caught herself saying it, but I did when she said y'all. So, again, seeing Madison, Richie's in the chat, so I see Madison. He stripped my Maine card that night when that premiered because as we were heading down the road, I'm like, all right, see y'all later. And then I stopped and I brought the video back. I'm like, yeah, that wasn't a Maine thing. Sorry. Something like that. But he stripped me of my Maine card. I don't know if it's temporary. He never really said if it's permanent or temporary, but I'll have to get back to him on that. So.
You were just channeling Gypsy and our protection.
There you go.
Well,
I hadn't had my coffee yet, so.
That's my excuse usually.
Yep.
But are you? Do you all plan on going to any other hunts this year?
We're going back to Coventry. I think they're having a hunt. Oh, I think it's October 22nd.
Awesome.
So we're definitely doing that.
So
yep, and we bought our Dig Stock tickets.
Ah, yay. You're going this year too.
Yeah, we'll be a Dig Stock.
Yep.
What's going to be your Halloween costume?
Oh, I don't know. I got to think on that one.
I already know what I've been looking for. I can't find it. I was going to find the, what was the jerky there? The Bigfoot costume. I was looking for that. Yep. Jack Lynx or whatever it is. Yeah.
Yep, Jack Lynx. The Sasquatch.
Yeah.
Perfect.
That would be awesome. That would be awesome. So so you all go into the Halloween dig stock in upstate New York. So that's great. Yep. It'll be good to see you there.
Definitely.
I know I will be there. Gypsy, you're not, are you sure? Do you know yet if you're going to make it to the dig stock in New York?
Sorry, I had you on mute. I'm really not sure yet. I had someone ask me today, in fact, said that they were about to buy their ticket. I've been waiting to hear back from Garrett. I haven't gotten word, but I also was asked to speak and go to something here in Texas that recently I was asked, and hopefully, fingers crossed, I don't want to say too much yet, but to maybe be on another TV show. This would be something a little different. I know I've told you, I don't know quite what I can say yet, but anyway. So that's kind of all up in the air right now, so I'm waiting to hear some news. So I don't know. We'll see. So I'm going to be just playing it all by ear and wait until the last minute and just grab a ticket and who knows. But I'd sure definitely love to see all of you.
So
fingers crossed.
Coventry, October 22nd, you all are going to, and you're going to Digstock, which is the 29th and 30th in upstate New York. That's awesome. Keeping you busy for the fall.
I see Jason just jumped in the chat, and so big shout out to I'll pronounce it correctly, Mr. Quada Horda, and he's gonna be wearing his giant banana costume. He says so. That'll be good.
Oh, that's awesome. Yes, absolutely. The where the giant banana. I think I was joking around last week about I've got one of those giant, the blow up, like, not the dinosaurs, but they look like,
Oh,
it's
yep.
Oh yeah.
unicorn. I have a big giant unicorn with like the tutu and whatnot. I was like,
That's
well,
funny.
they would definitely be able to find me in the field if I'm out there dressed, in the big
That's
blow up.
awesome.
That'd be great.
Oh, I love it.
You gotta find. I was thinking about it. It's like you gotta find something that you can bend over and dig. Because I saw one that was a Sasquatch costume, but it was carrying a guy around, which I'd be
Oh
the
yeah.
guy inside the cage.
Yep.
And I'm like, that'd be awesome. And then I'm like, well, how am I supposed to bend over and dig with that? That's gonna be kind of hard.
That's hilarious. That's like the alien.
Sasquatch would be nice, so it'd keep you warm.
Yeah.
Right?
The furries go detecting. Yeah. Well, hey, it was what? So the last few dig stocks in upstate New York were always the first or second weekend in October, which the Columbus Day or whatever that weekend is. And I know last year it was absolutely gorgeous. I think it was 2 years prior to that. It was freezing. Freezing. It was so cold. And I know Gypsy got sick at that one. So, hey, put those costumes on, help keep you warm out in those fields because the wind that zips across in the fall just is sometimes
Oh
kind of
yeah.
brutal. Sometimes kind of brutal.
That was the most Canadian geese I've ever seen in one place in my whole life.
Oh,
Coming
right.
off the lake and landing in the field. Yep.
Yep.
Oh boy.
Right.
Let's see. We got some more questions for him.
We do indeed. So, Becca, we'll have you go first on this one. If you could treasure hunt, whether it's metal detecting or dump digging or anything like that, if you could treasure hunt anywhere in the world, no rules, no nothing, where would you want to treasure hunt?
So, my absolute favorite thing in the entire universe to find is round balls and mini balls. I don't know, something about military draws me. And so if I could hunt the battlefield at Gettysburg, I would be in heaven just because I find stuff like that is so personal. Somebody had that in their hands. They had it for, which is, I don't know, that I was reading that question today and thinking, yep, that's where I would want to go. Just because I think that would be so cool just to connect with history like that.
Love it. Yeah, I'm right there with you. I would love to do that too.
Yeah.
Perfect first place. What about you, Ben?
I'd probably go back to more of my childhood and pirates and pirate treasure. And, I'd like to find some hidden pirate treasure somewhere. Spanish galleon on the bottom of the ocean. If all rules are out, then science, rules don't rule there, too. I could breathe underwater. That's fine.
Oh, yeah. I love it. Oh, yeah. Totally agree there. Both of those are so great. I'm right there with you. It's hard to choose just one thing for me. I don't know. It just is. Because I would love the battlefield. I've been lucky enough to get to hunt some battlefields, not the famous ones like that one, but like in Louisiana and stuff like that. And live in an area where there were a lot of, ships and stuff like that, which y'all do too up there. Man, there's a lot of good area there that I'm sure there's a lot of pirate activity, so.
And we all kid and joke, but I mean, it really is the draw to history. It's always probably one of the first things that runs through our head. I mean, even like that coin I found yesterday. I'm the first person to touch that since it was dropped in 1831. And it's like more than likely, and it's just like that's so amazing. And who was here and what were they doing? And I'll be honest, I've done my own genealogy work, and I'll use Ancestry.com to dig into the names that I find on my maps that put us there in the first place. Finding this old cellar hole or whatever. And there was one here in town that we just found a lot of buttons. I mean, buttons and buttons and buttons and buttons and buttons, to the point where Becca's like, what was she? Was she a seamstress? The woman that lived here? What was the history? And I finally got on Ancestry, and we found out, what was it? They had like 14 kids or something like, or 11 kids, Becca, I think.
Holy,
yeah.
And they ranged in age from like 6 months to 19, at one census record. And it's like, oh, no wonder there's so many buttons, So,
right.
It's just a lot of fun just researching. Yeah.
It really is. It is. It's all about the history and like Becca said earlier too, when you find something and you're not really sure and you start researching, it's just totally makes it, sweetens the deal, instead of, oh, I just dug a flat button, Well, when you really start researching the area, the history in the area, and yada, 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 it really makes a difference. So, so we're getting close to the end here, and we've got one famous question that I think some people have already been asking. If, we'd asked this yet, and I think y'all have already been warned, but we'll go ahead and start it. Whoever wants to go first. But
okay.
Okay.
Yeah, she's ready. She's prepared. I feel it. Okay, Becca. So, if you could dress as any superhero, and if you dressed as a superhero, what? And you were able to have the same powers as that superhero and use it, to go metal detecting or whatever, treasure hunt, whatever, what would that superhero be?
I would have to say Supergirl, because I would have X-ray vision and stop digging those cans. And I would be strong enough so that I'm not, at the point where I can't move the next day, because apparently I got old without watching. So I'm going to go with Supergirl.
Love it. I absolutely love it. All right, Ben, it's your turn.
Yeah. So kind of a toss-up between the two. And, of course, the one name, Becca's going to have to help me because what was his name there on X-Men?
Magneto,
yeah. So It's a toss-up between Magneto, just because that would save me a lot of digging. Just pull it up out of the ground.
Sure.
So, yeah, the older I get, the more I'm liking being lazy. And then that or Batman. He always has like a lot of cool gadgets and plenty of money to do what he wants. So not really a superhero, but kind of. I mean,
Yeah.
you could end up with a metal detector. It'd be just a treasure detector, and you could find bottles or anything you wanted with it. That'd be kind of cool.
Cool.
Very good. I love it.
And I do have to say, we're going to have to join forces, not superhero forces, but join forces here soon. I know that there's some developments going in, so I'm knocking on some doors and going, hey, before you start building these massive projects here,
Great.
can we please save what we can? And the dirt piles are already there. I enjoy digging those. It makes life easier on occasion.
Yes.
So we'll have to get you
Sounds good.
back over here. And then Becca, I'll definitely have to get you out mudlarking again. And even Ben, I mean, there's one spot that, I have that is I mudlark, but it's technically a dump. So you can, it's not one that I brought you guys to before. It's definitely different and a lot of fun. And age-wise, it's about the same, but more intact items than the other place. So.
No, cool. Yep.
Cool. So lots of
Gonna have
rocks.
to get you over.
Over.
I like it.
We'll have that name.
Well, it's funny going to Digstock last year. We met you there at Digstock because we're still learning who everybody is and whatnot. And all of a sudden we're like, wait a minute, we're from the same school district?
Yes.
Right.
We're 20 minutes away from each other.
Great. We're neighbors.
Yep.
Maybe
Yeah,
that's-
it was. I think it was the dig stock even before that, and I met quite a few of the Maine diggers, and I was like, "This is crazy." I had to come to New
Mm.
York to meet to meet the Maine
Right.
diggers.
Right.
Well, I think we all agree a lot of the different main groups for the detecting on the Facebook communities, they're quite a ways from us. So it was like,
Right.
They are.
So
Yeah, they're way up. They're further up north
yeah,
for sure.
I'm like, I'd love to join. I said, but you're 3 hours away. I don't want to drive 3 hours on a Tuesday night. I mean, I will, but I'd rather be digging. So
Right.
Let me see, Madison, he says, be careful, Gypsy, we're going to convert your accent over to a Maine accent.
That's right.
Hey, I'll have to agree there, Mr. Madison, Mr. Ritchie. We'll have to bring her on up here and get her talking like a Mainer.
Oh, geez.
Make sure she doesn't take any wrong turns coming up here from down there.
yep.
down there.
You can't get there from here sometimes.
Oh,
Oh
my.
gosh, I love it. Oh my gosh, yeah, we gotta go digging. It'll be so much fun just listening to y'all talk. I love hearing Madison, Maine though talk too. I've it's for I think as soon as I started my YouTube channel, Madison. I've always watched his videos and been following Madison for a long time and just hearing his voice, his accent and talking and stuff, I've always loved it. And then when I met, I definitely, virtually met him before I ever met Amanda in the hobby. So it's funny, the more Maine people and New Jersey and all these different accents, it sounds kind of alike until you come down here to Texas, and then I listen to myself on my channel. I can't even look at myself or even. I hate my accent. So I'd rather listen to y'all.
I think Richie and Dennis, DF Digger, Madison, Maine, they brought us into the fold last fall, late fall, early winter, if you will, and we started doing the Saturday Night Digs channel. And I really appreciate them really kind of giving us a break because they kind of exposed us a lot more to their subscribers. And I feel like they boosted our channel quite a bit. And I think we have a really good time with that. I respectfully call Madison, Maine, because he's been doing it the longest I know of in Maine. I may be wrong, but I call him the Godfather. So he doesn't know that till now, but he's been a long time on YouTube, so he deserves the respect.
Godfather, I want to hear you do a Godfather
like Richie is, I don't know, I can't do it very well.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
I was willing to try though.
That was pretty good. Pretty good.
Oh gosh, and Becca, I just adore your laugh. You're too cute. So. Y'all have been such a pleasure to have on. It's been wonderful. We'll have to have y'all back sometime in the future. Including Richie. We haven't had you on yet, Mr. Madison, Maine.
Going for
there you go.
I want to hear that accent. I can't even do it. I have to hear, oh gosh. I'm not even going to try. Okay. It's been a pleasure having you on, and y'all be sure and hop on the other podcast after this one, which is what, Amanda?
If Jeff, I didn't see if Jeff was having a show or not. I'm not sure, but happy
I'm
birthday,
not even
Jeff.
Sure. Yeah, if you're listening,
Jeff
happy
Lubert.
birthday, Jeff. And thank you all for the lovely evening. It's been great hanging with all of you and talking about all this debt sweeping. And
good job.
Well, thank you for the opportunity. We really appreciate it.
Absolutely. It was so fun.
Now, everyone who is not in chat, if you if you're interested, go to find them on YouTube at Maine Dert Sweepahs. And they also have a Facebook group, which is Maine Dert Sweepahs. So definitely go show them some love. If you're not in chat, I know I put the links in there. But yay, let's show them some support.
Thank you, everybody.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank y'all. Y'all have a wonderful night, and keep the sweeping. We'll see y'all on the next.
Right.
Good night, all.
Good night, everyone.
Good night. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.